Hello, welcome back to another episode where we're going to tour this beautiful tiny house located in South Royalton, Vermont. Come on in and take a peek. But first, let's check this out. This is a ductless mini split system, but this is actually a unit that's rated to work down to -20 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is a really amazing unit, and you might need that in the state of Vermont. Everything about this unit has been built with care for extreme climate in mind. It is spray foam insulated, has this extreme ductless mini split on it, and it has a very interesting air changing system, which we'll show you later in the video. But now we'll go inside. This deck actually comes with the tiny house. It's beautiful, it has these lights, and it has a grate in the floor, so that way you can knock your boots off if you're coming in the snow. And beautiful double doors here. One thing I am going to mention about these doors before we go inside is it actually has blinds built in to the door that can go down or up if you want the view, but then you don't have to dust blinds, so I really appreciate that. Coming inside this beautiful space, you'll notice immediately this beautiful living room here with this light so you can sit and read on a cozy day. You have up here a very unique, that I've only seen in this tiny house, I believe, a loft hammock. And the owner was very careful in designing this because the mini split is actually on the wall above this hammock, and there needed to be some sort of loft here for extra space, but one that could still provide enough airflow through that it wouldn't block the mini split. Above me, you'll also notice two hooks, and that is for a projector screen. And then right over here on this side of the couch, there's a special shelf made for the projector. There's an outlet right here in the wall, so that way you can have a big screen TV in here without having to have a full-time permanently mounted TV. This, like we were telling you before, because this is a spray foam insulated building, it's actually really tight. And when you have a really tightly constructed building, you have to have some airflow. So this is a Luno system. This filters the air, controls humidity, and cycles fresh air in and out, whether it be heated or cooled, to match the space. So this is really important. And there are actually two of these in the unit, one in the bedroom and one right here in the living room. So the spaces that you would use the most. And coming this way, one last thing I'll mention about the couch, it does actually fold out into a queen size bed. So if you did want to use this as an Airbnb or a guest house, or if you just wanted to use it for yourself but have guests over sometimes, that's definitely a possibility. This has heated floors. Again, this is for extreme climate, so you want to have nicely heated floors in a tiny house on wheels so that way your feet don't get cold in the winter time. Transitioning to the kitchen, there's a huge double bay sink here, which is just perfect. The drawers have been thoughtfully planned out, so that way you can store all of your necessary things. In this drawer here, there's a section for your laptop, and this is maple as well. We love maple, especially since we're in Vermont. And on this side, we have the stairs that lead up to the loft, but this can also double as extra storage space, and of course plenty of cabinets. This place has more cabinets in it than my apartment does, so that's pretty amazing. Down here is really cool because there's a drawer that's big enough for your appliances. There's a KitchenAid, and there's an Instant Pot in here, there's a food processor. It's just a huge drawer. Huge drawer. Moving down the line, we actually have a full-on electric 3-burner stove and an electric oven down here. So that way you're not sacrificing any of your cooking needs. And one thing that a lot of tiny house builders do not think of is a hood. And this hood is capable of extracting those odors and sending them outside, because when you're living in a tiny house, you don't want to stink up your whole space. On either side of the kitchen, there's actually 20 amp circuits, so that way you can run appliances in here as well, which is really important. And one thing that I am going to mention is that this was built by the builder for it to be his house. This wasn't just one that was built by a builder that was just slapping them out on an assembly line and getting them out the door for a client, and they didn't care about it. So he put literally everything in here, no stop, spent tons of money, spared no expense in building this, and it really shows, not just in the craftsmanship, but just in the little details like that, to have those 220 amp circuits for the appliances. But moving over here, we do have a very large, for a tiny house, freezer and fridge combo unit. So freezer down below, fridge up above, and there is an artist that actually painted this door. And I love how the door is on a slider, so that way you don't have to open a door into your living space when you have limited living space. And just come in here and follow me into the bathroom. I've got some really cool stuff to show you in here. So on this side here, you'll notice this insert, and this will actually pull out if you wanted to remove it. The owner used this as a pantry, but he did think ahead. He put all of the hookups necessary behind this insert for a washer dryer combo unit, so that way you can actually replace that if you would prefer to use that over a laundromat. Moving over here, we do have a composting toilet, and we have a shower, very nice shower. Again, in this shower, you might have noticed this in our last tour, or one of our last tours, but this shower has the nice rock bottom on here, and this would feel so amazing barefoot, I'm sure. On this side, we have our sink and medicine cabinet, as well as some storage here, and you probably can't see it from where you're at, but this is actually like a custom piece of wood specific for your toothbrushes to mount in, and even a tube of toothpaste would fit here just perfectly. The details on this build are insane. Just he thought of everything. Moving on into the other section, there's a closet with some rather unique sliding closet doors, so you can block this off if you have guests over and whatnot. But in the closet space, there's plenty of room. So you can, your cleaning supplies, you have two separate dresser type units for your clothes. You can get changed in the bathroom when you get out of the shower. I could imagine putting a rather large laundry hamper here, so that way you could go to the laundromat if you didn't want to remove that insert and put a washer dryer unit there. And one thing I did forget to show you on the other side, so we'll cycle back over there, is this pull out trash and recycling. So you don't have to have that just out in the open. So many times, like, the trash can is just an afterthought, but he truly did think of everything. And we're going to introduce you to Jack, who's the builder, at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. And here, this is, you could put your shoes or extra towels down here, just a very versatile space there. Now we're gonna move up into the loft and show you the bedroom, but I will make a mention, on the wall over here, there is another heated floor, so that way this is a dual zone heated floor. You can set them for different temperatures, so you can have heated floor in the bathroom, heated floor in the main living space, keeping you toasty warm in those extreme climates. Let's go up to the loft. Up here in the loft, you'll notice there's enough room for me to actually sit up on the bed. A lot of tiny houses are lacking in that, and this is a good size mattress too. On either side of the bed, you have his and hers lights, which you just kind of turn on and off with the pull chain below them. You have outlets, and these outlets actually have the USB ports on them. And you have a window on each side. You know how much I love windows in these tiny houses, and they really nailed the location. You also have another one of those air circulator units over there. So again, while you're sleeping, you're still getting fresh air, which is so important. You also have an in-floor outlet on the other side here if you wanted to add maybe a fan or something, if you like to sleep with a fan at night. And on this part in front of me, there's also extra storage and storage baskets, and that storage unit actually provides some separation between the bedroom and the rest of the tiny house. When I say that the builder really thought of everything, The light switches up here will actually control the lights for the main part of the tiny house. So if you forget to turn out the light, no worries. You can still get up into bed with the lights on and turn it out before you go to sleep and just not have to worry about climbing back down out of the loft and in the middle of the night when you're just trying to sleep. It's just perfect. One great thing about these lights as well, just another one of those amazing details, is that they can go into night mode. So you'll see there's a little ring of light on this side here, and that just kind of produces a more dim, homey atmosphere just to get ready for bed. And then during the day or when you want extra light, you can turn it on, and then it will be that light that you've already seen in this video. But to have like a cozy mode button is pretty cool. This loft space is amazing. With the hammock loft up here, it's so comfy, so cozy. I could definitely picture myself just working on my laptop from this location and just locking in. The owner said that his favorite way to use this loft is to come and sit cross-legged, and he would put his coffee up here and just enjoy his time. But as you can tell, it also works good for storage. There's another window on each side so your plants can thrive in this environment. This is just really, really well thought out and well designed. Another couple details about the loft is the owner actually had his printer up here. This was actually where he would use as his office. And there is a Starlink satellite internet port, so that way it's easy for the wire to come in through the wall right here. And this is where the router is located. And there's also an outlet on the wall right there. So if you needed to plug in, obviously, the Starlink or your laptop or your printer, this would be the area to do it. And now we're gonna go downstairs and talk with Jack. He was actually one of the people that built this tiny house. So let's go talk with him. This is Jack. He actually was one of the people that built this tiny house, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about it. And thank you, Jack, so much for letting us tour this tiny house.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I built this tiny house with my girlfriend at the time, Zoe, and my dad also helped out a lot. It was a really fun process. Built it out in California. Got a custom tiny home trailer from Oregon. Brought it down to California and built the house in California, and then drove it out to where it is here in Vermont now, about 4 years ago. And so, yeah, been living in the house for 4 years, year round. It's super cozy. Heated floors are like one of the best things we ever did for this climate. It's my favorite kitchen I've ever had. You can stand here and do everything you need to. Nice big sink. Dishes are easy. Big fridge, lots of storage. It's just, yeah, awesome kitchen. Love it. Yeah, just the whole space has been really, really incredible. I super sad to say goodbye to it, but it's just kind of how it's worked out, and really excited to see it go to someone else in its next chapter, and it's gonna be great for someone else.
I think it's really amazing that you brought it all the way out here from California. So California is on the entire other side of the country than this, so that's kind of like proving its roadworthiness.
Yeah,
right
totally.
There. So
Totally.
Yes, this thing can be towed, and you didn't have to get any special permits when you towed this, did you?
No, it's regulation height and width for. It's like maxing out on the dimensions for being highway safe without any extra permits, but it doesn't need any extra permits.
Perfect. Well,
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you again so much for letting us see it.
Yeah.
And if you guys like tiny house tours, or if you like nomad van life content, definitely make sure to subscribe. We do a healthy mix of both, and we'll see you in the next one.